Hey everybody, welcome back to Simply Cerisa. Can you believe it is time for my annual TUL Plan With Me video? Now, if you remember last year, I made a planner with a soft shell, again, all TUL products, but this year I decided to change it up. I decided prints were not exactly what I wanted to look at, and I wanted to reuse what I already had, so I went back to a hard shell, and I'm actually trying to do things a little bit differently this year. So let's get right into all of the new products that I purchased for this year and how I'm setting up my TUL planner and how I'm reusing everything that I've bought in the past. Just to review, what I was using for 2021 were the larger discs that I had found on clearance, and then what I call the soft shell covers. It was just a 2-pack, I believe, and they had multiple prints, so I had went with the basic gray and white, and then on the inside this is actually a pink, but it's hard to see. And then I had also purchased a couple of pocket inserts, which definitely one was plenty for me because it does have a pocket insert on either side. And then I had done just a basic monthly layout, which I still am a huge fan of, but because of necessity, I have actually already crossed over into a weekly calendar, which I will show you. And here's just a blank one. And I don't know about you, but I cannot just have a calendar that goes from January to December, because as you all know, we start making different doctor's appointments and things for the next year out, or when you're well into November, you already know things that are happening the next spring. So I did have to purchase this a few months ago, and instead of going with the monthly out of view calendar, I went with the weekly one, and they offer this. So it basically says Monday through Wednesday here, Thursday through Sunday here. And why I like it is because if you can see in a close up, it actually has the times for Monday through Friday. So it starts at 8 a.m., ends at 5 p.m., but then has a blank on the top and the bottom so that if I have an earlier appointment or something in the evening to write, I can schedule that out. Also, I have a miniature to-do list, which I think is great. I can go throughout the year and add things predetermined, maybe having to pay property taxes or, lube up my garage door or whatever that I do annually. I can add that to the to-do list, which I did not have room for with these smaller monthly calendars. So I'm just retraining myself to use this. And then of course I had a daily to-do section, which let me show you, this is actually a really cool thing that I found again halfway through the year. The daily to-do sheet became a game changer for me, and this is already my new set. My old one that I used for 2021 was plain, but this, you'll just have to have patience. This is gonna go with my new setup for the year. It's incredible. So if you look closely, it has a top priority section listed 1, 2, and 3. It has a to-do list, it has notes, and then it has the date that you can add, and then daily schedule from 6 a.m. all the way to 8 p.m. broken up in 30-minute increments. So what I was doing with these is I had a daily to-do section, as you can see right over here, and then I would go through what I had to do every evening for the next day. I would fill this out, and then I just felt so much more accomplished and ready for the day when I did this the night before. And when I ran out of these, I missed them tremendously. So I was so excited to see that they came out with even new patterns. This is definitely something I'm always going to have. And that was really about it. I also had a notes section just for basic notes. But again, I got tired of all of this print and pattern, and that's what I love about these is if you keep a couple of pieces from year to year, you can swap back and forth and you can adjust. I had gone to Joann Fabric thinking that I might try a little bit of the 365 pieces, but what I realized is they don't have this size at all. It's a very off size, and it looks like they push you to buy a completely new planner every year. And I love to reuse what I can, and if I just have a couple of sets, a more basic one and maybe a more fun one, then I can easily reuse things from year to year. So let's get started and I'll show you my new stuff. So what I've decided to go back with this year, I'm just really into more neutral tones again, is this hardcover that I actually purchased approximately 3 years ago, but it looks brand new considering all the busyness I have and everything I do to it. I do like the hardcover. It's just heavier, but it does offer some pockets and just a lot of stability. And then once you put it together, you can actually flip the entire thing and you have a very hard surface. So if you need to take notes and you're not at your desk or you're in your car, this is actually really incredible, and I just like being able to use it. I also love the idea of having a pen holder because that was a problem I was having with the soft-sided one. I really just was always looking for a pen. So I'm going to go back to this hardcover, and I believe you can actually still get this one or one similar to it. And pro tip, if you do not like the dated planners that they have, you can actually just purchase the notebooks for much cheaper price, and they just come with basic like narrow ruled paper like this inside, and then you can purchase the dated calendar in whatever format you like, so you can create your own planner and really truly get the cover that you do like, because everyone's going to use notepaper, so the notebook is definitely a good way to go if you like the covers better on those. I just have a little mix and match batch of my discs, and the black discs are actually smaller, and I have a feeling they're not going to work 100%. I probably need the larger discs, but I am going to go with the smaller black discs this time just because I want them to be color coded. As you can see, they also offer different sizes. So my original ones are just like this, and the larger, more, I believe these are like 1-inch discs, are quite a bit bigger. Just to give you a basic idea of what this is now going to look like, I went ahead and added my black rings to it, and I put these together. What I decided to do this year is I'm going to put my daily to-do list in the very front, because I think that that's really front and center and what I need to work through. And then what I'll do is on my weekly calendar, I will just like push over and see what I need to do, and then transfer all the information onto my daily to-do list. And what's lovely about these are they are undated, so if I don't use one for the day, I don't feel like I wasted it. It doesn't have, you know, backdating or anything on it. And then what's lovely is I can actually just rip these out and throw them away on my day-to-day processes. So I think overall this is going to be a really pretty setup. I love the color schemes. I think it goes really well together. I just put a few of my monthly calendars in there so you can kind of get an idea of what that would look like. But I already have a lot of personal things written for January, February, so I don't want to show you too much of that. I actually just put a little notes section in the back. So I put a little divider, and I just have blank note pages because we always just need an extra scrap paper just to jot something down super fast. So what I've chosen this year is to keep it as simple as possible and just really make this a true calendar. Now, you might wonder what I did with some of my sections from last year. If you recall, last year I had purchased this little to-do set, and that was going to be my meal planning for the week. And yes, it worked fine, and I had them set up just like this in the front. I'm gonna leave the link to my last year's video below so that you can kind of refer back if you wanna know what I was talking about and how I set things up last year that are different than this year. But about halfway through the year, what I realized is this just wasn't quite enough information, and my family always wants to know what's for dinner for the week. So I found this. And this is not TUL. This is actually, I believe, Better Homes and Gardens. I found it at my local Walmart. It's just a tear-off notepad, but it is incredible. It has a magnet on the back, so I actually just stick it up on top of my refrigerator, and it's just so much more convenient because then I can quickly look in the refrigerator, see what needs to be used, start creating my Monday through Sunday meal plan, put the week on there, and then the market list is the best because if it's on the refrigerator, I get help. Meaning if we're running out of eggs, then my family can just write eggs on here and I don't have to go asking all the time. And then it's perforated, if you can see, so the market list can actually come off separately, and I can take this to the store, go shopping, and this will stay on my refrigerator for the week to remind me and anybody in my house what we're eating, and it avoids a bunch of questions. So I will also put a link to this if I can find it below. Again, if I can't, it's just from Walmart in their paper section, and it was just a really great idea, and it also allowed me to simplify and take out meal planning from my true calendar. Now, you might also be wondering what I am going to do with the one from last year. Well, that's the fun part. I am going to keep this as is. And then what I just did was I flipped it yet again. So I thought I would just do the turquoise with pink flowers, and then the back side is just a light pink. I know it's a little blown out, you can't see. And I'm going to keep this as just my true notebook. And for me personally, this notebook gets used for YouTube video ideas. I used to try to put it into my planner, but it's just too much and it gets too bulky. So I purchased the TUL Narrow Ruled Note Page Refill in the junior size. This is approximately $5.98. So for basically $6, I have a brand new notepad and I'm not wasting what I was using last year. So yes, I do have two different notepads yet, still notebooks, but it keeps it simple. I can just take one with me around the house as I'm writing notes and as I'm doing my videos, and then my calendar can stay where it has lived in my kitchen. Last thing I wanted to mention is that TUL has come out with so many different pen and pencil and highlighter options. It's really almost overwhelming, and they are all so beautiful. But I decided to take a chance on a TUL pen again because this one is a click pen. And if you remember, my actual favorite pens are the SHARPIE S-Gel pens, but primarily that is because they have a nice grip, they write well, and because they click. And this is a 0.7 writing pen. This one, I don't know if it tells me, yes, it's also 0.7 and black, so that should write just as well. And I just thought it was very pretty and clean, and sometimes it's just fun. So I went ahead and spent the $1.99 to go ahead and get myself a TUL pen so that I could slide it into my, oh, that comes off, that's awesome. To slide it into my current and new calendar just to make fresh for the year. And this is just currently making me super happy to look at. I feel a lot better about this, and I just feel like it's going to simplify things all the way around. So yeah, that's pretty. So I have to say, I am super happy to have this back in my daily life. You know, it's so funny how you can kind of get tired of something, or you just feel like you need something new from year to year. But if you just put it away for a little while, you can bring it back out and just change it again to make it yours. And it's incredible. So I really am happy with this. I love that every year TUL does come out with different patterns. And might I add, they also have a plain daily list. And then they do have a marbled effect one too. So if you were going with a totally different color scheme, or you just can't handle pattern, they definitely have 3 different choices. Again, I'm going to leave all the links that I can below for you, either at Office Depot or through Amazon, because TUL does have an Amazon store. So it might be an easier way for you to pick some of these pieces up. I also love that even though I got a little tired of this, I was able to switch the patterns as I needed to, and then I'm gonna reuse it again, and it's gonna be super functional for me to pull pages out and put them back in where I need them as I create YouTube content. So again, nothing is wasted. That's just my favorite part of it all. And I just have to do the honorable mention one more time for this. I believe I paid approximately $5 for this thing, and it has just been super helpful in my household. So I know that it's not technically a planning or a TUL piece of item, but it works so well. And overall, it goes with organizing and planning my day and my week. So that's really what it's all about for me. Again, I'll put the link below on that. So I hope that this was helpful to you. Let me know in the comments below, are you using the TUL planning system and do you like it? And then also, if you're not, I'd love to hear about different planning systems so that I can research them for the future. All right, until next time, I'll see you soon.